Film Factual. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Sure, sure. Nice to meet you.
You too. Thanks. Okay, so I wanted to get started asking about the creation of the series. What was the inspiration in getting this brought to the screen as a spin-off series? What was that inspiration in really getting the project going?
I think it all starts with access. I knew a detective for a long time, and her name's Mitzi Roberts, and she helped me with my books. She's a longtime homicide detective for the LAPD. And a few years ago, she was put in charge of the cold case unit, and it was like, hey, I get to ride along with her because she was going to allow me pretty much full access to her world and what she was doing. And it was somewhat, not so much now, but back then, pretty unique in law enforcement. She was assigned as the one detective to cold case, and then it was up to her to recruit a bunch of volunteers, people with different levels of experience in law enforcement or social media, things like that. And it just sounded very interesting to me. So the books came out of that, and it was something that really hadn't been seen in television that way. So the TV followed. So it's been a pretty amazing and fun ride. And the whole way, Missy Roberts been part of this. She was on our show as a producer and someone who kept us on the straight and narrow in terms of being as accurate and as close to the realism as we can get. And so it's turned out pretty well with, add an amazing cast to that, and you have what we have, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah. And besides working with Misty throughout the development, what kind of research did you do, especially with the television series after coming from writing the books? How did you really research for the series to really keep updated? And what was that experience like?
Well, it was Mitzi Roberts is our ambassador to all this stuff. She opened a lot of doors for us at LAPD. We film at the Amundsen Center, which is the real place where the homicide case library is. So we had a lot of access. I don't know if that translates to research per se. Um, I'm a former journalist. I haven't done, real journalism in 30 plus years, but I still kind of retain a lot of, I kind of write like a journalist. So I'm usually writing at all times, but shooting off emails or having meetings and so forth. And, the first stop on all the research for Ballard was Mitzi Roberts. And if I had a question about something and she couldn't answer it, she would get us to get me or get the writers from the show to the place to the people who were the experts that we wanted to talk to. And through her, we filmed in the real labs and so forth. We had some real lab people in the show, and so a lot of it is front of mind is always verisimilitude as much as we can. I mean, to be deadly accurate is probably to be deadly boring. So we have to kind of pick our moments to hopefully be have these oh wow moments of that's how they really do it. And so it all started though with our connection, not just me now because I passed Mitzi, on to the crew and the production, and so she's been the most valuable player on this and the one who gets us what we need.
While working with the writing team for the show, how did you really work with them to maybe create unique elements for the show, or how much did you also stick to the books? What was that balance like in working with the writing team for this series?
Well, my books are very internal, which is, one of the great things about writing books is you go inside people's minds, characters' minds, and know their thought processes. All that goes out the window when you come to make a TV show, and so it's a very tough transition. Personally, for me, I can't ever say that I'm a good screenwriter because I think I'm so steeped in what works for me as a book writer. So if I have any value to this, it's besides writing the original books, it's being what I can or being available for what I can for the writing staff. I don't spend a lot of time in the writing rooms. I'm really more involved in the setup of it and making sure that we get kind of like-minded writers that are fascinated by the character and want to be loyal to the character that's in the books and not say, oh, we could do this a better way. We could go this way with it. I think, Amazon, MGM, and we've always, front of mind, been like, the books are popular, so let's make the show as close to the books as we can. And I think, we've accomplished that, and I think the fans are going to like it a lot.
Speaking of working with Prime Video and MGM, what was that experience like in really collaborating with them on developing the series and being getting ready to debut the show next month overall? So.
Well, I've been producing, writing, been involved in making TV with Amazon Prime for over 10 years. Like I'm almost like an OG or something at Amazon, and I've seen it grow and become big, and we've gotten more experience. I've gotten more experience, and I kind of went from like not knowing anything about making TV to kind of having, after 10 years, some pretty good ideas, I think, about how to do it. And so it's been a really good partnership. Amazon is there to really, as they say, facilitate us turning these books into a credible TV show that will bring, watchers, viewers back, um, episode to episode. And I think we've accomplished that over 10 years. And Ballard is the latest symptom of that. Really think it's done well. It kind of shows everything I've learned and our crew has learned from Bosch, and now we have this new show that I think is going to take off and do well.
Also, speaking of Bosch, I also wanted to ask about that show and leading into the series, and how much did you rely on maybe story elements from the original show? And is there like a connection to Bosch overall, or what was that experience like in spinning the series off?
Well, going backwards on your question, I mean, there's definitely a connection. I mean, I think it's all these characters, whether they're in or out of the shows, are moving in the same plane. It's the same universe, and so that was good and bad. We had this kind of basis that we could work off of, and we had Titus Welliver's Harry Bosch, and we knew we could bring him over for some episodes. But at the same time, we want a unique show. We want it to stand on its own. We have a number one on the show in Maggie Q, and she's been an amazing number one, and a fantastic leader on the show. And I think that's given it its own personality. It's interesting. Both shows are set in Los Angeles, but one's kind of West Side, one's kind of East Side. It seems like the divider line is probably La Cienega or Sepulveda, and that's been kind of fun to explore new places, locations, story ideas, and the trails of where stories take us, all within the same community, same city. But I think they're two distinct shows, but they definitely have connections.
And also, speaking of Maggie Q and the rest of the main cast for the series, what was the casting like? Were you involved at all in bringing her on board, or how did you find the main actors for this show as well?
Yeah, I like to. That's to me, again, I come from this like, hey, I'm a book writer. What do I know about casting? But it's the key thing. It's the most important choice you make. So I, of course, always wanted to be involved, and Amazon said we want you involved, which was, not always the case for writers in Hollywood. So that was a kind of a breath of fresh air when I was invited to have a say, and so that worked out well with Bosch. We ended up with a leader, a great actor, and we wanted to do that again with Ballard, and I think we have. Amazon has its own casting system and so forth. We had casting directors on our show, and everyone worked together. And it was through this joint effort that we were presented with this idea that Maggie Q might be interested in doing this. So we jumped on that and met with her several times, and talked her through as she read some of the books. She read the book we wanted to base the first season on. And she was very much a partner once she signed up.
Thank you very much again for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate
Sure. Thanks a lot.
it.